बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम रब्बिश्रह ली सदरी वयस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली। माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स एंड व्यूअर्स, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। आज का हमारा टॉपिक चैप्टर नंबर 13 से रिलेटेड है, नॉवल गुड बाय मिस्टर चिप्स, चैप्टर नंबर 13। तो बेटा उसका नेम आप लोग नोट कर लेंगे, बुक्स आप लोगों ने अपने पास ओपन कर लेनी है ताकि हम इसको अच्छे तरीके से तैयार कर लें। चैप्टर नंबर 13 हमारा, चैप्टर नंबर 13 चैट्रिस रिक्वेस्ट टू रिजॉइन ब्रुकफील्ड। चैट्रिस जो है उसने चिप्स से रिक्वेस्ट की कि वो दोबारा ब्रुकफील्ड जो है उसको ज्वाइन कर ले। तो उस हवाले से हमारा ये चैप्टर है। प्लीज ओपन योर बुक्स। हम स्टार्ट करने लगे हैं चैप्टर नंबर 13, द वॉर ईयर्स, द फर्स्ट शॉक एंड देन द फर्स्ट ऑप्टिमिज्म। ऑप्टिमिज्म कहते हैं खुश उम्मीदी, जिसको हम बात करेंगे होपफुलनेस, इसको हम कहेंगे होपफुलनेस, खुश उम्मीदी, ऑप्टिमिज्म। द बैटल ऑफ द मैरीन, द रशियन स्टीम रोलर किचनर। किचनर जो था ये फील्ड मार्शल था और एक पावरफुल जो है ना फोर्स के तौर पर इस्तेमाल होता है। डू यू थिंक इट विल लास्ट लॉन्ग सर? Chips questioned as he watched the first trial games of the season, gave quite a cheery answer. He was like thousands of others, hopelessly wrong. But unlike thousands of others, he did not afterwards conceal the fact. Conceal का मतलब होता है छुपाना. Conceal the fact यानी hide. यहाँ पे हम word use करेंगे hide, conceal के लिए. We ought to have finished it by Christmas. The Germans are already beaten. But why are you thinking of joining up Forrester? Joke, because Forrester was the smallest new boy Brookfield had never had, about 4 feet high above his muddy football boots. But not so much a joke when you came to think of it afterwards, for he was killed in 1918. अब यहां पर बेटा एक क्वेश्चन बनता है हमारा। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन है, हु वाज फॉरेस्टर? फॉरेस्टर कौन था? हु वाज फॉरेस्टर? सॉरी। when but not much as joke in 19 when you came to think of it afterwards, for he was killed in 1918, shot down in flames over Cambrai. But one did not guess what lay ahead. It seemed tragically sensational when the first old Brookfieldian was killed in action in September. Chips thought when that news came 100 years ago, boys from the school were fighting against the French. Strange in a way that the sacrifices of one generation should so cancel out of those another. He tried to express this to Blades, the head of the schoolhouse, but Blades, 18 years old and already in training for a cadetship, only laughed. अब यहाँ पर क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 हमारा बनेगा, who was Blades? Blades कौन था? तो इसके मुतालिक भी यहाँ पे डिस्कस हो चुका है. What had all that history for a cadet's history stuff to do with it? Anyhow, just old Chips with one of his queer ideas, that's all. In 1915, armies clenched the deadlock from the sea to Switzerland. The Dardanelles, Gallipoli military camps springing up quite near Brookfield. Soldiers using the play fields for sports and training. Swift development of Brookfield OTC, Officers Training Corps. OTC से मुराद Officers Training Corps. Most of the younger masters, यहाँ पे लिख देता हूँ, OTC stand for Officers Training, Training Corps, 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 Officers Training Corps. Most of the younger masters gone or in uniform. Every Sunday night in the chapel, after evening service, Chattris read out the names of the old boys killed together with short biographies every morning. But Chips in the back pew under the gallery thought they are only names to him. He does not see their faces as I do. उसने तो उनके नाम चेहरे नहीं देखे थे, लेकिन चिप्स ने उनके चेहरे, उनके फेसेस भी देखे थे. In 1916, the Somme battle, 23 names read out on Sunday evening. अब यहाँ पर एक क्वेश्चन बनता है बेटा, क्वेश्चन 3, व्हाट सर्विसेज डिड ब्रुकफील्ड मेक ड्यूरिंग द वॉर, या रेंडर्ड भी मेक की जगह यहाँ पे लिख सकते हैं रेंडर, बहम पहुंचाई ड्यूरिंग द वॉर. क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 आता है, व्हाट डिड चैट्रिस डू ऑन एवरी संडे नाइट, हर संडे की रात को चैट्रिस क्या किया करता था. He read all the names of those boys and students who had been dead in the war. Towards the close of that catastrophic July, Chattris talked to Chips one afternoon at Mrs. Wickett's. He was overworked and overworried and looked very ill. To tell you the truth, Chipping, I am not having too easy a time here. I am 39, you know, and unmarried, and lots of people seem to think they know what I ought to do. Also, I happen to be diabetic and could not pass the blinded MO. MO means medical officer. But I don't see why I should pin a medical certificate on my front door. Chips had not known anything about this. It was a shock to him, for he liked Chattris. The latter continued, you see how it is. Ralston filled the place up with young men. All very good, of course. But now most of them have joined up, and the substitutes are pretty dreadful. On the whole, substitutes मुतबादिल होता है, dreadful, terrifying, horrible, खौफनाक. They poured ink down a man's neck in prep. One night last week, silly fool, got hysterical. Hysterical जुनून में आ जाना, पागल हो जाना, frantic हो जाना, mad हो जाना. I have to take classes myself. Take prep for fools like that. Work till midnight every night. And get cold-shouldered as a slacker. Slacker कहते हैं lazy को. Dull person. Lazy. Slacker. Lazy. Dull person. Dull person. इसके लिए हम यूज करते हैं dull person. Lazy. Slacker on top of every evening. I can't stand it much longer. If things don't improve next term, I shall have a breakdown. I do sympathize with you, Chip said. I hope you would. And that brings me to what I came here to ask you. Briefly, my suggestion is that if you felt equal to it and would care to, how about coming back here for a while? कि तुम दोबारा वापस आ जाओ. You look pretty fit, and of course you know all the ropes. I don't mean a lot of hard work for you. You need not take anything strenuously, vigorously, सख्त काम करना. Just a few odd jobs here and there as you choose. What I would like you for more than anything else is not for actual work you would do, though agarche that naturally would be very valuable, but for your help in other ways in just belonging here. There's nobody ever been more popular than you were, and are still. You would help to hold things together if there were any danger of them flying to bits, and perhaps there is that danger. Chips answered breathlessly and with a holy joy in his heart, I will come. तो यहाँ पे अगर हम बात करते हैं तो एक और क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 आता है, What request did Chattris make to Chips? कौन सी रिक्वेस्ट थी जो कि चैट्रिस ने चिप्स के साथ की थी. और नेक्स्ट एक और क्वेश्चन जो लास्ट है, डिड चिप्स एक्सेप्ट चैट्रिस रिक्वेस्ट, क्या चिप्स ने चैट्रिस की रिक्वेस्ट को एक्सेप्ट किया था. तो यहाँ पर बेटा आप लोगों का चैप्टर नंबर 13 नॉवल का वो ख़त्म होता है. उम्मीद करता हूँ आपको आज का लेक्चर समझ में आया होगा. अल्लाह आप लोगों का हामी और नासिर हो. अल्लाह हाफिज़.